Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we can make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions. Your turn. Building bridges between our divisions. My turn. I reach out to you. Will you reach out to me? Your turn. I reach out to you. Will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions. With all of our voices and all of our visions. Well done. Friends, we can make such sweet harmony. Friends, we can make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all our voices and all of our visions. Friends, we can make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all our voices and all of our visions. Friends, we can make such sweet harmony. Now, if you're feeling particularly caffeinated, well caffeinated and alert, let me add something for you, an invitation to the percussion. It goes like this. Relax, relax. If you just heard your voice telling you, oh, that's easy, that's nothing, then let me add another invitation. Now, you may stop anywhere along the way. You can keep this one just fine. That's great. Also, you can keep this one. That works too. Also, this one. That's cool. Here we go. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all our voices and all of our visions. Friends, we can make such sweet harmony. One more time. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all our voices and all of our visions. Friends, we can make such sweet harmony. This side. Building bridges between our divisions. And we go. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all our voices and all our... One more time. Building bridges between our divisions. Here we go. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all our voices and all our visions. Friends, we can make such sweet harmony. Friends, we can make such. Friends, we can make such sweet harmony. 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 Yeah, we can. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Y'all are sounding good. My name's Jen Crow. I use she and her pronouns, and it is a privilege to get to serve as the senior minister here at First Universalist Church, and it is a joy as well to get to lead worship today with Dr. Glenn Thomas, with our choir, with Reverend Ashley, and with Allison, and with our worship associate, Nan Potter. Thanks to everyone who has prepared this space and made it possible for us. Thanks to John and Olu for keeping the tech working so we can stay connected. Thanks to all of you joining us online, and for everybody here in person too. It matters that we are showing up. It matters a lot that we show up together in community. Last Sunday, we got to welcome 20 new members to this congregation. How about that? That was pretty amazing. And if you're here in person, you probably walked past the welcome tree that we created together, which is gorgeous. I hope you'll stop by if you're here and see it out in the narthex. And on each of those leaves on the tree are words or drawings of welcome and of blessing for our new members. And I tend to think they're also words of welcome and blessing for all of us. Last week, I was in the pews, which was a great gift, and I was running back to the back to get a pencil to put my own words on a leaf, and I passed a grown-up and a kid, and they were discussing what they were going to put on the leaf. And the kid was super clear. The kid said, "Welcome to our family." And I thought, that is just the most perfect welcome, right? Especially here in a Unitarian Universalist congregation where we know that family is not about biology, though it can be, though it's not about laws, though it can be, though it's not about choosing even sometimes, though it can be. Family for us is a broad and inclusive term. It includes the wind and the water and the air. It includes the plants and the animals. It includes each and every person and being that ever has been and is now and will be. That is what family means to us as Unitarian Universalists. So welcome to the family, everyone, that has always been and always will be. We just need to remember it. Do I have any Lilo and Stitch fans out there? Yes, okay, so do you have a Lilo and Stitch shirt on? Stitch, thank you. Okay, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. When they say the word family in Lilo and Stitch, what do they mean, or what do they say? Anybody? Ohana, which means? Nobody gets left behind or forgotten. That's also, Ohana means family, that's right. So if we too believe that no one is left behind or forgotten, our mission is to act like it. So welcome today. Welcome to this community of individual and collective transformation. Welcome to this space where we seek to make love real in our actions and in our words and in our ways. So as we prepare ourselves for this time together, I invite us to settle our bodies and spirits. So we do this together with a practice of 3 intentional breaths. So do this however you like. I always like to feel my feet on the floor, have an opportunity to roll my shoulders back, and then let's breathe together. From this place of interconnection and calm, we speak the words that share our promises to each other, the promises that keep us together. I invite you to join with me, if you'd like, in the words for the lighting of the chalice. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
This time I invite all of our kids and youth to come forward right up here. You can come down from the balcony, come up from the pews, right up here. We're going to have a conversation about protest. come on up, hang out up here. Help me have this conversation. I can't have it by myself. That would be so boring. You sit right down there. Right down there so you can see me. Thank you. Thanks for coming up. Take a seat. Wonderful, wonderful. Look at this crew. This crew that's going to help me have this amazing, important conversation. So we're going to be talking about protest today, which has some meanings on a big scale. But first, I'm wondering if any of you have ever protested something your parents have said. Yeah? What's something that you've protested that your parents have said? A lot of stuff. Yeah. Your parents ever said something and you were like, I don't like that so much. I don't know about that. Right? Anybody have an example of something that your parents said and then you protested or told them no? Yeah, Archer.
I mean, it's something I protested, but not anything to do with my parents, really.
Okay, tell me about it.
Okay, we were learning about how, well, okay, you guys know about Trump, how he doesn't really like the pride flag and what it means.
Okay, so Archer's saying that, I'm just going to say it because they can't hear you, so that Trump doesn't like the pride flag. Archer's telling me about something that...
I'm saying he doesn't like people, LGBTQ, and millions of other letters.
He doesn't like LGBTQ and millions of other letters.
But here's what I did.
But here's what I did. Go for it. They just can't hear you.
Okay, here's what I did as a protest. Me and a friend of mine helped made a petition to put up a pride flag in our school.
Oh, that's awesome. So Archer and a friend of theirs had a petition to put up a pride flag in their school. That's great. So some of us have, has anybody ever been? Oh, go ahead.
A shocking 96% of the kids said yes to the pride flag. We are doing it, but our principal is stalling.
Oh, so 96% of people said yes to the pride flag, and we're going to do it, but the principal is stalling.
Somewhat. He's saying it's on his agenda, but it's been on his agenda for 3 months.
Oh, no, some bureaucratic stalling. It's on his agenda. It's been on his agenda for 3 months. Okay, so other people stall. So I'm wondering, who's been to a protest before? Has anybody here ever been to a protest? A couple of you have. The teachers were on strike. Yeah, the teachers had a protest. What are some things you've seen at a protest? What might I see? Yeah. Signs. A lot of signs.
Like big puppets.
Big puppets. Sometimes there's big puppets at a protest. Yeah.
I think you're thinking of a parade.
Animals. There's sometimes animals at protests. Lots of people. So many people.
When I went to a protest, I saw the Monopoly Man.
The Monopoly Man. You went to a protest and saw the Monopoly Man. That's pretty cool. So people protest, like the story we heard, people protest because people in power are doing something they don't like. And then I want to make sure that the people in power know, hey, we don't like that. We don't think it's cool. We're not gonna let that happen, right? There's a protest, a big protest around the country last Saturday. Did anybody go to that protest? There's a big protest. It was your birthday and you went to the protest. That's pretty cool. Did they sing to you? Bummer. Next time. So some of you went to the protest, some of you went to the protest. People have been protesting for a long time. Not for 1 year, not for 10 years, but for thousands of years, people have been protesting. There was a huge protest 2,000 years ago. And Reverend Ashley is going to tell you all about it.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I use she, her pronouns. So there was this protest 2,000 years ago. It actually was kind of a big deal. It was in Jerusalem. It was the week of Passover. And every year, the week of Passover, so many people would go to Jerusalem to celebrate their freedom, because that was the story of Passover. And every year, that made the Roman authorities, the Roman government, really, really nervous. Because people in power oftentimes are a little worried that their power might not last. So they would stage a big show of their power every year. They would stage it by having a parade, a huge military parade. Think shock and awe, grown-ups. Like big horses, armor, so many people, loud. They were trying to show how big and strong they were. And then on the other side of town, those were the Roman authorities, led by, Caesar, who they called the Son of God. Ding, ding, ding. On the east side of Jerusalem, there was this guy. Some of you might have heard of him. He was a mystic and a poet, a teacher, an organizer, a carpenter. Any guesses? Jesus. His name was Jesus. And he knew this big parade on the other side of town was going to happen about power. And he said, you know what? We are going to have our own parade. It's actually a protest, and it's about love. We're going to have a parade of love. And all of the people who were not included in those systems of power followed him. And they didn't come in on some big military parade. They came in on a donkey. And a donkey? It's not so fancy. It was a symbol of peace. What? Was Shrek there?
Because there was a donkey.
Because there was a donkey.
Because there was a donkey.
Let's say yes.
But Shrek was in the Jesus parade.
Shrek was definitely in the Jesus parade, which really was a protest. They waved palms, which was this ancient tradition of Jesus and his Jewish people of protest. They were chanting, Hosanna, Hosanna, save us, enough is enough. And that was how they had protest signs. They didn't actually have protest signs. They had palms doing the same thing, protesting for love and peace in a different kind of community on this Sunday that every year we call Palm Sunday, or many folks like to call Protest Sunday.
That's right. So imagine that you were in Jerusalem 2,000 years ago. Do you think you would have been in the parade with the people in power and the people with money and the people that were keeping some people out of living their full lives? Or do you think you would have been in the protest that said people deserve food and health care and love and that everybody deserves to be included? The second one, yeah. Healthcare was kind of a thing. It looked really different than it does right now. That's fair.
Every miracle. Can I have a mic? Hello. Hi. Every miracle story of Jesus, actually just free healthcare. Mm-hmm. I'm totally serious.
I will get you one. So my friends, 2,000 years ago, last weekend, people just like us have been telling people with power what we think and what we think they should do and what we think they need to know. If you, in 2025, right now, we're going to make a protest sign, or you're going to go talk to somebody with power, what do you think it's important that they would know? What would you say to them? Yeah. Okay. Why is that? Oh, okay. That was the time travel part was confusing. Yes. Okay. So we've traveled 2,000 years into the future. It's 2025. You're who you are right now. You're the age you are right now. We're all right here. What do you want to tell the people who have power? Yeah. It's not all about you. That's right. That's totally right. It's not all about you. What else do people in power need to hear right now? What else would you tell them? What else would you tell them, or what would you write on a protest sign? Yes?
That the person that you're talking to shouldn't give prejudice based on your age group.
Yes, people shouldn't give prejudice based on your age group. That's totally right. People in power really need to hear that. Any last protest signs, last things you all think people in power need to know? People in power, yeah. Include everybody, for sure. People in power really need to know that. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do this week, and I'm going to ask you to do it too. All right, just one time this week, I want you to tell somebody in your life, yeah, Seamus. What are we going to do? You know, we are going to get out of here so soon. So soon. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do this week. One time to one person in your life, I want you to say, hey, here's what I think people in power need to know. I think people in power need to know it's not all about them. I think people in power need to know not to discriminate. I think people in power need to know everybody should be included. Just tell one other person something that really matters to you that you believe in. Can you do that? We're going to do that this week, one time to one person. I feel like we can do that this week. Palm Sunday, Protest Sunday. Let's make the world a better place. We're going to get out of here. Our kids are going to head to their classrooms. I get my lantern bearer, my flag bearers, and as we go, we're going to sing an old protest song, This Little Light of Mine. We're going to sing it all the way to our classrooms.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, where I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it Be like the birds that pausing in flight a while on boughs too slight, feels them give way beneath her, and sings, and sings, and sings, knowing she has wings.
Thank you, choir. That was just beautiful. I want to show you my mug. I know you can't actually see it, but this is from one of my favorite humans in the world, the other Reverend Ashley H. Reverend Ashley Horan. Hello, friend. For those of you who don't know the Reverend Ashley Horan, she's kind of an important human in our denomination, and we get to claim her as our own, so that's pretty awesome. She also has really great taste in mugs. This one says, it's a picture of Jesus, first of all. That's very important context. OMG, you guys, that's not what I said. I feel like that is most of my preaching life. I didn't finish the story earlier about how Caesar was called the Son of God. The important piece here is that's why they called Jesus the Son of God also. It was in direct protest to the idea that Caesar in power could be God. They said, if that guy is God, then this organizer of peace and love, we will follow like God also, in direct protest. And not just protest, but heresy and insurrection and rebellion. That is what this week is about in the Christian tradition. It is a week of remembering insurrection and teaching ourselves that it does not just need to live in the past, but has the possibility to live in us now. As we enter our prayer time, we settle in to the history of insurrectionists, the history of rebellion for love, for the power of love to be the power that leads our lives. We settle into our ancestors who for over 2,000 years have been practicing radical solidarity with each other and teaching us, leading us into this moment now. Let us lean into their wisdom across time as we settle into the pews as we settle into our seats wherever we may be tuning in from, so that we can feel the breath of solidarity alive in each other. Let us pray now. Let us share what would be lighter if we held it together, and what would be more full of radiant joy if we spoke it aloud. And as we do so, we will respond as we do around here by saying, "You are not alone. We are holding it together." The circle is open now. Let us pray.
For the workers at the Minnesota Department of Health who have lost their jobs due to federal funding cuts, for all of us who are less protected by their work because they are no longer working there.
For all the workers losing jobs right now due to funding cuts from the federal level, you are not alone. We are holding it together. For all the veterans who've lost their benefits, you are not alone. We are holding it together.
For my brother Patrick and May, whose wife, who's 20 years younger, has early onset Alzheimer's.
Oh. Sorry, for which family member?
My younger brother Patrick.
Your younger brother's wife, who has been diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. You are not alone. We are holding it together.
For my mother, Helen Payne, and her stepchildren, Rob, Beth, and Chrissy, mourning the loss of her husband and father.
Oh, for your mother, for her stepchildren, and all of them who are mourning the loss of a father and husband who died yesterday. You are not alone. We are holding it together. For Kinmar, Abrego, Garcia, and all immigrants being held in detention. This is from Susan Johnson online. You are not alone. We are holding it together.
My wife, Judy Adams, is traveling from the hospital to intermediate care at Shalom home today. I hope soon she'll be back in memory care.
For your wife, traveling from hospital to intermediary care and hopefully back to memory care soon. You are not alone. We are holding it together. For finding spiritual balance. You are not alone. We are holding it together. For all who are living in fear of our government right now. You are not alone. We are holding it together.
For all those who went to the Capitol and stood up for what they believed in.
For all those who went to the Capitol to side with love and will keep doing so, you are not alone. We are holding it together. For all those struggling with addiction on our streets in Minneapolis, you are not alone. We are holding it together.
For our own First Universalist community, that we can find the resources to continue the great programming that we have here.
For our own First Universalist, that we can find the resources to continue the great programming we have here, to quote Carol. You are not alone. We are holding it together.
Krista Anderson says, for undocumented immigrants who now face the choice of registering and facing imminent deportation or not registering and facing other penalties.
From the mic now for our online folks to hear also for undocumented immigrants who now face the choice of registering and facing imminent deportation or not registering and facing other penalties. That's from Krista Anderson. You are not alone. We are holding it together. For the congregation at Unity Church Unitarian on the installation of Senior Minister Reverend Oscar Sinclair yesterday, we celebrate with you. You are not alone. We are holding it together. We wish a happy Passover filled with love and liberation and peace to all of our Jewish beloveds and a meaningful Holy Week to all our Christian beloveds. You are not alone. We are holding it together. For all the prayers that rest silently on our hearts, for all the prayers that do not yet have words, but live in our bones and our beings, longing to be held. May we each remember, you are not alone. We are holding it together. Let us sing. Let us make that beautiful interconnection we just practiced together material now, as we liberate our resources with our morning offering. We have lots of ways to participate in liberation this morning. We have, first and foremost, a testimonial from the one, the only Sarah User about why this community matters to her and the importance of your ongoing commitments to our annual fund.
Hello, my name is Sarah Huser, and I use she, her pronouns. Whenever I am asked why I volunteer as the Coming of Age Coordinator, which I am currently doing, or why I have volunteered in the RE program for the past 24 years, my response is easy. RE is going to save the world. I know that can sound hyperbolic, and yet I am really serious. As Reverend Ashley Horan said, and she's sitting back there, in her sermon at Lake Harriet in 2023, the right wing has been indoctrinating their kids with their values, tilling and preparing the soil for what we now see coming to fruition. How we teach our youth our values is how we work to see a brighter future than the one embraced by our current administration. Here at First Universalist Church, we have a strong RE program. Our recently updated curriculum is helping our youth know our UU shared values of justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. Our youth are learning how to engage in our UU shared values and become role models for others. Back when my daughter started 4th grade, she had an assignment to bring in objects to share with her class as a way to introduce herself. She brought in a rainbow and taught her whole class the rainbow path, which was how we used to teach our UU principles to our youth. She continues to embody our UU value of generosity as she volunteers in the pre-K room for both services every Sunday. She's in her 2nd year of college and chooses to get up early to spend time with our 3 to 5-year-olds every Sunday. She is just one example of the amazing ways our youth and our young adults are living our shared UU values. First Universalist has the highest RE enrollment in the country, with 325 youth enrolled this year. A lot of our RE programming depends on volunteers because we have not had the budget to replace the RE program staff who have left. I hope that as you consider where you want to invest your time and money, you think about how important maintaining and growing a robust RE program is, not just for us, but for all the people who will learn from the example that our UU youth are providing.
If you have made your commitment for our fiscal year that begins in July, a huge thank you. If you have not yet made your commitment, a huge ask that you do so. And if you are able to increase your commitment this year, if you are able to stretch just a little bit more, it will help us to sustain the ministry that we know the world so desperately needs right now, which is actually what our community offering is going to today. In particular, it is for our Sanctuary and Resistance Fund here at church. Jen and my phones are blowing up with requests for support from our Sanctuary and Resistance Fund. It looks like requests for rent support or relocation support or food or you name it. But namely, the requests we are getting are to support trans refugees from out of state whose health care is disappearing across the country. And there are networks, strong networks here across faith communities to help with that relocation in particular. We partner with Pink Haven, a UU and otherwise affiliated organization that is doing this work and has been doing this work for the long haul. But we need your funds to make the support and the promises and commitments of that work real. So we invite you to give boldly, to make liberation and health and all of the wholeness of each of those people possible and real here and now. Finally, one more opportunity for liberating your resources is a concert happening on May 4th here that is a fundraiser put together by our stewardship team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is called We the People. It will be an afternoon and evening of joyful celebration of music and celebrating the ministries that we are supporting. So we encourage you to get tickets, please, and join us. Let us receive our morning offering now.
I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you I feel you deep within. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. No matter what you feel or what you choose to show, I'm always there for you. And so I wanted you to know I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love. I am sending you light to heal you, to hold you. I am sending you light to hold you in love, to hold you in love.
I'm Nan Potter. I go by she, her pronouns, and I am a worship associate. Our reading this morning comes from Andrea Gibson, Colorado's poet laureate and one of the most celebrated poets of the last 2 decades. Gibson focuses on LGBTQIA+ issues, spirituality, feminism, and mental health in their work, and is the subject of a new documentary, Come See Me in the Good Light, which has one show remaining in Minneapolis Film Festival on Tuesday night and a Substack titled Things That Don't Suck. So Andrea Gibson, note to the stranger 6 feet away. There was never not a bridge from your chest to mine. My heartbeat was always the sound of your feet walking toward me. I can't believe how many years I went without knowing that the air you were breathing out was the air I was breathing in. Forgive me for not saying thank you before our lungs had reason to hide. Do you pray more now than before? I pray every day. I pray for the big bang, and to the tiny bang, and to the bangs we'll all have to cut ourselves so that we can see the beauty that only can be seen from 6 feet away. A giraffe's neck is 6 feet long. A decade now, will I remember the week I spent wondering if I could hug a giraffe's torso and not get sick if the giraffe coughed? I don't want to forget anything about this, especially not how it feels to worry about everyone I love at the same time. So much of the world has been doing that already. If every heartworthy novelist weeps for days before killing off a beloved character, God must have spent centuries sobbing before pressing a pen to the page of this year.
I need you. You need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. We're all a part of one body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive.
Beloveds, there are some things I have not been telling you. You see, I have this tendency to try and carry things all on my own. Maybe you have this too. I want to care for and protect others, which makes ministry a pretty great fit for me. But I can overdo it. Oftentimes this shows up for me with all good intentions. I'm trying to shield others from pain and suffering, but the thing is, I do it whether they've asked me to or not. And sometimes the result of me trying to shield others from pain is suffering is that they actually get mad at me because they want to know what I'm holding, and they want us to be able to hold it together. Turns out people don't like you making decisions for them. Shocking. Sometimes holding it together actually helps. The words that we say in our prayer each week, "You are not alone, we are holding it together," both help me remember who I am and who we are and who we want to be, but also sometimes they come at me and they feel like kind of a direct personal challenge. So here we go. Here's the truth. Since January 20th and the inauguration, things have been different. I've told you that we are working with Pink Haven, a collective of organizations and individuals who are committed to trans liberation and joy, who are working together to support the relocation of trans and gender expansive folks to safer states and provide connections to mutual aid and support as folks arrive and get settled and hopefully transform their lives into surviving and thriving in joyful and connected ways here in the community. I've told you that First Universalist is one of the organizations that's a part of Pink Haven and that we are supporting one person in an apartment the congregation is paying for, and we are doing our best to help this person and others get connected in the broader community and travel alongside them as they acclimate and find their new way in this place. But what I haven't told you is this part. Reverend Ashley alluded to it a bit earlier. I haven't told you about just how many requests are coming in. They're coming in through Pink Haven, they're coming in through partner organizations, through community connections, through word of mouth, and right through the front door each and every week. These are requests for housing, emergency and temporary and longer term. They're requests for assistance with rent so that folks can stay in the home that they have. They're requests for connections with landlords that will treat trans and non-binary people and immigrants and people of color with respect. They are requests for community connections, therapist recommendations, food bank access, and more. All of this is taking more time and energy and attention than it ever has before. And I am so grateful that this church and this community is here in this moment. I've found myself saying a lot over the last few months that I know I am in the right place at the right time. I know that this congregation is in the right place at the right time. And I know that I am doing all that I can to meet this moment, and we are too. It's a lucky thing to get to feel right now, that we are here, that we know what we are about, and we are doing what we can. And some of this ministry I am trained for and have been doing for more than 20 years, and some of it is new. You see, for the first time in 20 plus years of ministry, I'm helping to move people from one place to another without ever knowing their names on purpose. For the first time in my 20 plus years of ministry, we are using coded language to refer to the challenges that people are experiencing. For example, when someone came to our doors a few Sundays ago and said, "I am a rainbow refugee and I need help," we knew what they meant, even though they weren't using all the same words we might have been used to hearing. For the first time in my ministry, I've found out that the Secretary of Defense and I share something in common: the use of a particular encrypted app. Very different purposes, somehow same app. Security protocols, the presence of trained security people here on Sunday mornings and at our trans-focused events, the now more public reality that people of color and immigrants and queer folks have lived with for some time, that a person can get picked up off the street by an agent of the state, can get picked up and detained and swept away, can be kept from their families, from their attorneys, for an indefinite period of time at unknown risks. These are different times. And these are times as old as time. We heard this morning about Palm Sunday as protest. We learned that every year in the week leading up to Passover in the city of Jerusalem, the Roman army would assemble on one side of the city as a show of force. We wouldn't want anybody to get ideas about liberation and freedom. We learned that on the other side of the city, Jesus and his followers organized a different protest, a protest of peace and love. They waved palms, we waved signs. They showed up on a donkey, we mostly showed up on the light rail last weekend. Different times, time as old as time. Those who were following Jesus then hope to bring about the kingdom of God here in this world. We talk about beloved community and bringing it into being here. Different times, times as old as time. Last Saturday, when I was listening to the speakers from the steps of the Capitol, I heard two things that particularly heartened me. I heard about solidarity and I heard about diversity. Solidarity. I heard there what I know is true in my bones, that my liberation is bound up with your liberation, that as Lila Watson said, if you have come here to help me, you are wasting your time. But if you have come here because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together. Solidarity means working together, standing together, moving together, not as one above or below the other, but side by side. Each of us with our differences that do not go away, even when we are in a common struggle together. It means queer folks and black folks and indigenous folks and immigrants and disabled folks and trans and gender expansive folks and white folks and wealthy folks and poor folks and older people and younger people and every kind of people, recognizing that with our kaleidoscopic differences, there was never not a bridge from your chest to mine. Solidarity. Coming together to build beloved community now. I also heard about diversity last Saturday. And I'm not talking about diversity in terms of how many hues there are in the pews. I'm talking about diversity like biodiversity. Biodiversity that refers to the variety of life on Earth. The variety of life. The different ways that life comes into being and is all interconnected and supporting each other. Because the more diverse an environment is, the more resilient and stable it can be. That's how I heard about diversity on Saturday. One of the speakers said something that I think a lot of us were feeling. We were looking around and thinking, there is no one way out of this. There is no one heroic leader that has emerged for us to follow. There's no one path through this time and out of it and into what we dream of. This time is going to require all of us with our needed and important and beautiful kaleidoscopic differences. Differences in resources and skills and time and energy. Differences in ideas and life experience. It is going to require all of us, and we have that in our favor. We can be resilient and stable together. These are different times, and these are times as old as time. Thanks to our ancestors, thanks to the spiritual grounding of this community, we know who we are and what we are about. We know what to do. We are a people of love and hope. We have been a people of love and hope for over 160 years. We believe together in a love so big that it leaves no one outside the circle but draws everyone in. We believe in a love that leaves no one behind, where no one is forgotten. We believe in a love so strong, as Dr. Mark Hicks said, that it will not let us down. It will not let us go, and it will not let us off the hook. We believe in practicing beloved community and in building beloved community right here and now. This is the work of the church. It always has been, and it always will be. This is what there is for us to do. We are going to need to remind each other of who we are and what we are here for. We're going to need each other to remember how we survive and thrive and even sing in these times. We need each other to hold the pain that is too big to hold alone, and we need each other to dream the dreams and make them real that are also too big to create alone. We need each other to bring tea and soup and lawn chairs, to hold harmonies, to remember that we are more than one drop in a bucket. We need each other. And we need each other because we have some big dreams for what beloved community can mean. What if we were able to increase our capacity to support immigrants and trans refugees from a few people at a time to a few dozen people at a time? What if we had reproductive health care access pop-up hubs in our parking lot or in our building where folks could come and get birth control once a month? What if we co-created with our interfaith and community partners a welcoming village that helps to transport trans refugees into flourishing in the Twin Cities? These are just a few of many of the ideas and dreams that are percolating. But we need the staffing and the infrastructure to make them real. We need to liberate our financial resources, as Reverend Ashley often says. We need to share our time, our energy, our non-financial resources boldly in this new old time. In just a few weeks, on April 27th, after both services, the Sanctuary and Resistance team will be tabling after the services down in the social hall. They'll be sharing the vision that that team has and inviting you into opportunities to join them. Maybe you become part of the court watching program at immigration court. Maybe you think about whether you have time and space and resource to offer room in your home to a trans refugee for 2 weeks or 2 months or 6 months. Maybe you think about the ways that you can be a part of building beloved community. Whether you can be here or not on that day, I hope you will keep an eye out for the ways you can be a part of this work. We're going to need all of us to keep all of us and our ever-expanding sense of who we are safe. I also want to tell you today where we are in our efforts to come together with the money that we need to run the church in the fiscal year ahead. I am doing my best to put into place this direct challenge I feel by our prayer. You are not alone. We are holding it together. So here's where we are. We currently have about $1,050,000 pledged for our upcoming fiscal year that starts on July 1. We need roughly $1,350,000 in pledges if we're going to support the mission and ministries of the church, including not just the Sanctuary and Resistance efforts, but the religious education program, our music program, community dinners, daytime connections, and so much more. So here's the invitation. If you haven't yet made your pledge to support the ministries and mission of the church in the upcoming fiscal year, you don't have to pay anything till July 1. Please do so. If you've already made your pledge, thank you. Thank you for helping us to build the base that we need in order to imagine what we can do in this beloved community. And I'll tell you, we had a budget conversation last Wednesday after community dinner, and an idea came forward from one of you that I would like to share. One of you said, you know, when I do the math, $1,050,000 to $1,350,000, what I can see is that if everybody who is pledging increased their pledge by 15%, whatever that is for them, that would make up the gap. So I've started to think, can me and my family do that? We've currently pledged $5,600. Can we go up 15%? We're talking about it. This is a new time. It's also a time as old as time. So maybe we celebrate Protest Sunday, Protest Pledge Sunday, Protest Pledge Sunday of 15%. I'm thinking about it. We are not alone. We are holding it together. As James Baldwin wrote, each of us helplessly and forever contains the other. Male in female, female in male, white in black and white in white, we are a part of each other. Many of my countrymen appear to find this fact exceedingly inconvenient and even unfair, and so very often do I, he wrote, but none of us can do anything about it. Our liberation is bound up with each other. There was never not a bridge between your chest and mine. Forgive me for not knowing this sooner. Forgive me for not acting like this sooner. I don't want to forget anything about this, especially not the feeling of worrying about everyone I love at the same time. So much of the world had already been doing this. We are interconnected, entangled in this together. Let us build beloved community now together. May this be our work. May we make it so. Amen.
We are
We will get there together. If you want to join in conversation about how we might address climate change as a congregation, please join members of the Environmental Justice Team right up here after the service. If you're here in person, please join us for coffee and conversation downstairs in the social hall. And for all of us, let us remember there was never not a bridge between your chest and mine. Let's remember this. Let's act like this. May it be so. Amen.